open market operation. In short, we call it as OMO. OMO. Open market operation. See here it is another instrument. Now try. So first, whenever you see a term in economy, try to understand to which topic it is. It's coming under money and banking. It's coming under, it's a tool or instrument used by RBI to control money supply. Then things become very easy for you. Now see the term, what's the meaning of? It's an operation. Who perform this operation? Be very clear. Who perform this operation? It's RBI. It's RBI perform this operation. Where it perform? It in the open market. Be very clear. It's not in the market. Open market. What do you mean by open market? So, is there any market called closed market? Yes, there are closed market. In some places, everybody can't go there. Only people with membership only can go. There are certain clubs like that. Yes or no? But there are some places where everybody can go. Ernakulam market, everybody can go. Central Mall, everybody can go. But there are certain places where in which it's restricted. So we are talking about, we are talking about open market, we are talking about operation, and we are talking about open market in relation to where financial instruments are traded. Now what is the specialty of a market? What is the specialty of a open market? First of all, everybody can be there as a participant. So it's not restricted. Second is, there will be a buyer and a seller. That's a specialty of an intermediary. I'm not talking about intermediary here. Direct buyer. Imagine, see, this is normally you seen in a market. Whenever you go to a market, you'll see a buyer, you'll see a seller. In some market, there will be a middleman. You have taken a house, you can't go directly, you will go only through a middleman. But in some place, if you want to buy fish, you can, no intermediaries required. You can directly go to the fisherman, tell the seller, I want 1 kg of fish, you buy 10 cup. Vegetable, it's directly. But try to understand, in a market, in every market, there will be a buyer and a seller. Now, what is the specialty of a market? If it is open, I told you there will be no restrictions. So not only in relation to the entry and exit of the people, it's also in relation to the price. In an open market, the price of any commodity is determined by the market itself, in the sense that it's determined by the demand and supply. This is very, very, very important. Demand and supply determines the price of anything. So what do you mean by demand and supply? It's very simple here. If there is huge demand for a product, the price of that product will increase. If there is less demand, it will decrease. Similarly, supply also determines. If there is huge supply, demand is same. But if there is huge supply, then also the price will decrease. That's why you see in some seasons, season time, especially mango seasons, mango price is very low. Why? Demand is same, but there is oversupply of mango. During mango season, there are a lot of mango. That's why the price have come down. So it's there. The market fundamental is like that. The price is determined by the demand and supply. Now here in open market operation, try to understand. It's what is being traded. What is being traded? It is basically government securities. There are other instruments also are there, but the most important traded instrument in the open market operation is government security. So government securities are traded in this market. So in that market where the government securities are traded, the RBI intervene or RBI through this, by selling and buying government securities, RBI control money supply. In open market operation, RBI enter the market, and through buying and selling government securities, RBI control money supply. This concept is very, very, very important. You need to understand it. How when the RBI sells a government security, or how when a RBI buys a security, what happens with the liquidity? Once you know that, things become very easy. Now we'll see it. What happens in open market operation in relation to government securities? Now what is this government security? It's nothing but, government security is nothing but a bond. Again, its material has been given to you. We'll be discussing in the afternoon session, but just have an idea. Government security is a bond or a debt instrument issued by the government. It's there in the material. You just go and read it. Issued by the government. And it's a debt instrument to raise fund. So government securities are securities issued by the government to raise fund for its expenditure, government expenditure. If you see it, tomorrow we'll discuss this regarding why government raises fund. So have an idea, government requires fund for its expenditure. Government, if you see it, the tax which it collects every year is not sufficient. The tax it collects every year is not sufficient for its expenditure. Then what the government will do? The government will borrow money. How the government borrow money? By issuing government securities. So there are different instruments government do it, but this is the most common instrument in which the government borrows money through government securities. Now since it is a debt instrument, it is having an interest, it is also having a maturity also. Now try to understand that in government securities there are different maturities there. What do you mean by maturity? The time at which the security will get matured. Once the security gets matured, the government have to pay back. The entire principal. Interest it have to do it every yearly, twice in a year. So I'm not going to technical details, it's not that much important. But what I'm trying to say that the interest at which the government security is very important for you, because this interest rate determines the other market interest rate. Government securities interest rate have an influence. We'll discuss one by one regarding it. Now we are discussing about open market operation. Are you clear what do you mean by government security? So it's a financial instrument, it's having a value also. Now in government security, what is the specialty is? It will be having an interest mentioned in the government security. The most common interest rate will be mentioned there. The most common, widely accepted government security, or the benchmark government security. Benchmark government security in the sense that what is the interest rate of this benchmark government security? Other government security will also get influence, or other interest rate will also get influence. That's why we call it as benchmark government security. We call it the 10-year. The 10-year government security is our benchmark government security, 10-year. So the interest, everybody notice this, the interest rate of this 10-year government security. What is the movement of this 10-year government security? Now suppose, so there will be an interest rate for it. There will be an interest rate and it is having a maturity. So in this case it is 10-year. I'll discuss a different topic also while discussing open market operation. What I told you yesterday in relation to bond yields and bond price and its relation. Bond yields, bond price and its relation. So just wait for some time. We'll discuss that. First we'll be clear with open market operation. So RBI, making it simple, RBI perform open market operation through government securities. I will see it how it performs it. Now imagine RBI, I am bringing only to make it simple, I am bringing only commercial banks and RBI to understand the concept. Imagine in this open market, RBI and commercial banks are there, and other players are there. We need to understand in relation to what happens when RBI sells government security and RBI buys government security. What happens to the liquidity? That's important for you. Now if you see, now when RBI sells government security, what happens? RBI is selling government security to commercial banks. What will happen to liquidity? In return, what the bank have to give? The bank have to give money. When RBI sells government security to bank in return have to give money. So what will happen to the liquidity when RBI sells government security? The liquidity will decrease, or we call it as absorb. This RBI absorb liquidity by selling government security. Are you clear with this concept? RBI absorbs liquidity in the open market operation by selling government security. Don't by heart it, understand it, be very clear, understand the concept. Is it clear? So what will happen when RBI sells government security? There will be absorption in the liquidity. So what is this topic is about? How RBI control credit, or RBI control money supply, or control liquidity. Now see the opposite. When RBI buys government security from the bank, when RBI buys government security, in return RBI have to inject liquidity. So if the RBI want to inject more money to the system, what it will do? It will buy government securities. So through these two operations, by selling and buying government securities, RBI can control liquidity in the system, and this is what is called as open market operation. So be very clear. Now don't ask me after 1 month, sir, who performed this operation? Is it bank or RBI? Who perform? It's only RBI. RBI only perform this operation. No one else perform this operation. Be very clear with it. Now you see, you just answer the question from open market operation. Question number 6. Simple question. Answer is? Now, this question will have a clear-cut idea whether you are thorough with this concept. Answer question number 9. Apply elimination method. It's a 4-statement question. What about the first statement? First statement is correct or wrong? First statement is correct. If first statement is correct, choice B and choice D is wrong. Eliminate it. Now what is left? Only you need to find out whether the third statement is correct or not. Check the third statement. See, this is not a directly open market operation question. It is in relation to what will happen to the money supply. Now you just read it and tell third statement, borrowing by the government from the central bank. It will increase the money supply or not? It will increase. I told you, the money is released from the RBI to the system. See, when we talk about money supply, where the money is held? Is it with the RBI or is it in the system? So when the government borrow from the RBI, from the RBI the money is being injected. So when the government borrows, it is going to spend in the system. So whether the money is with the public, whether the money is with the government, whether the money is with the bank, all are part of the system, money supply. When we talk about this, only thing is that whether it is with, if it is with RBI, it is not there in the system. So 1 and 3 is correct. 1 and 3 is correct. You got it by using this method. Now find out why 2 and 4 is wrong. Deposit of currency in commercial banks by the public. See, that will not increase or decrease. It is same only. It's already with you, it's there in the bank. It's not increasing, it's not decreasing. The question is increasing the money supply. Yes? So that statement is wrong. Now what about fourth one? We already know it. It will decrease or it will not increase. So this is how you have to, now just go back and when I start this session, I told you certain things. If you know the concept, you can solve a question. But if you know the UPSC question, that will give you more clarity. Because you need to be very clear in what way UPSC asks question. That's the difference.